Hi there, my name is Chris Doman. I'm the CTO and co-founder of GuardDuty Security, and today I'm talking about AWS GuardDuty, particularly when you might be responding to a security incident. So what is AWS GuardDuty? Well, it's a pretty fundamental security service in AWS. It's a threat detection service, so it detects malicious activity, doesn't block it in itself, and it can apply to various different services. So it can look over kind of network data from VPC flow logs and DNS logs, which can be from things like EC2, but also other servers that use VPCs as well. It can look over CloudTrail logs, so look for suspicious activity at the kind of more kind of management level, and also some recent additions as well. It also looks at things like EBS volumes, if you enable this. So it takes a snapshot of the volume and then uses multiple antivirus scanners to look for bad activity there. They recently added Lambda detection as well, DNS over HTTPS, so they're continuously adding new detections as well. Here are a few of the examples, and apologies for this wall of text, but just pick out a couple of these. As mentioned, CloudTrail management events, so things like you're doing suspicious things like you see creating a subnet or other things too, perhaps a low priority on that one. Other things too, like you can monitor for unusual activity around objects. There are some really good EKS-specific detections too, so some Kubernetes-specific detections there too. And as mentioned, VPC flow logs, DNS logs, those are ones you normally see. Also things like brute force access based on a few different things too. This is what some of those findings or detections might look like. So Tor IP caller, in this case to S3, but you also see it for other services too. That's a pretty common one. It's actually pretty standard to see Tor or people on Tor reaching out to some of your resources potentially. So you have to kind of investigate these and find if they really are malicious or not. Also things like outbound Tor access. You'll definitely see a bunch of things too, like Bitcoin mining as well will trigger a bunch of things like talking to known cryptocurrency mining domains. You can add some fairly limited custom threat intel into GuardDuty too, so a list of bad IPs, and then it'll basically apply those VPC flow logs. So standard stuff. They do have a pretty decent built-in set of threat data too, which you can rely upon. Then particularly as it pertains to responding and forensics in an incident, GuardDuty has the option to log to both CloudWatch and also to S3. S3 is particularly key if it can be bulk exporting and importing that to other systems like your SIEM. And the way you do that is pretty simple. On the right hand here, you'll see this option to export and keep exporting all of your findings. And then there's a delay here. GuardDuty itself has a delay, and there's also a delay then when reading from CloudWatch too. So just be aware of that if you're doing things like testing this. Oh, and also there is the option to test GuardDuty too. There's a little button, which is quite useful. And also on the AWS GitHub repo, you can trigger some settings too. Here at Kado, we can import GuardDuty logs from S3, and it's great when you can see them side by side with activity on EC2. For example, in this screenshot here, I think what we've done is we imported an EC2 volume along with GuardDuty logs, so we can see side by side activity happening both at the AWS level and also on the disk as well. And then finally, response in the cloud is all about automation. So in Kado or with your own kind of Lambda plumbing, you can do something like take GuardDuty detections, and once you've had a high severity or a real, potentially real GuardDuty detection, then do an automated investigation. So that involves doing things like automatically taking a snapshot of the volume if it's an EC2, or otherwise capturing data, for example, in Kubernetes, then doing a secondary investigation in Kado, again, automatically to confirm it's a false positive or a true positive. If it is a true positive, then do something like, at the more extreme end, stop that instance, or the less extreme end, potentially isolate at the network level, or the role attached to that instance, which then isolates it at the IAM level instead. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening, and we do have a free trial on our website.